For more on the Colombian militia groups and their alleged abuses, we're joined by Maria McFarland. She's Deputy Washington Advocacy Director of Human Rights Watch. Thank you very much for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Your organization recently said that new militias have arisen in Colombia. Who are these new groups and what, if any, connection do they have to the Colombian government?
Well, the groups aren't so new. They're successors to the paramilitaries who terrorized the country for decades before the Colombian government supposedly demobilized them a few years ago. In fact, the government left the networks, the criminal networks of these groups intact. It failed to really investigate them and make sure that they were taken apart. And as a result, mid-level commanders of the paramilitaries just picked up the reins of the groups, continued their criminal drug trafficking operations, and continued their serious abuses against the civilian population. We haven't documented a direct link to the Colombian government, except in the sense that the government has failed to effectively confront the groups. It's failed to make it a priority to fight them and to invest the resources necessary to take them apart. We have at times documented toleration of the groups by security forces, though, and that's a serious concern going forward.
Can you give us some examples of these alleged types of abuses and some of the people who are being affected?
The groups commit massacres, targeted killings, they will rape people, and they regularly threaten anyone who gets in their way, including human rights defenders, trade unionists, community leaders, and just ordinary civilians who don't follow their orders.
We've heard some estimates that Colombia has as many as 3 million displaced refugees of war. What role do these militias play in this crisis?
Well, the paramilitaries have historically been the actor most responsible for forced displacement of civilians. And these groups have continued displacing people by going into towns and threatening them, saying that they're going to kill people. And so whole families, sometimes whole communities, leave. Often they just threaten individuals, and you have so many people being threatened now that you have hundreds of thousands of Colombians fleeing every year their homes.
What role do you think that the United States should have in this situation?
The United States can play a very important role by continuing to delay ratification of the Colombia Free Trade Agreement until Colombia meets basic human rights standards, by dismantling these paramilitary groups, which are the main threat to trade unionists and others who are trying to assert their rights in Colombia.
All right, Maria McFarland, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.